Yo, what is going on? Listen, I know this isn't necessarily a geek out type of moment, but I'm excited because it's March Madness. The kickoff just started today. So I get a chance to enjoy a little bit of basketball while I nerd out on some comics at the
People
same
nerd
time.
out on basketball all day long. Grown
You know
men
what? You know
talking
what?
about
Can we,
college players like
bro,
they're D&D characters.
exactly. You know what? That's one of them conversations that we really haven't really like jumped on the full blast, and that is the geekdom of loving sports. And there
Yeah,
is a very hardcore geekdom about it.
yeah,
Like
there's
take for
super
instance the
geekdom.
big one right now. The super big one is fantasy football.
Yeah,
Fantasy football is like having a D&D checklist.
it
You
is
know,
it
you got your
actually
certain people with
actually
certain positions, certain power levels based on how good they
actually the
are.
guy that designed the fantasy football is a D&D
Mhm.
creator.
I can believe that.
Yeah, he's a D&D
I can
creator.
certainly
The
believe
guy
it.
that created it.
And
Yeah. The guy
it's
that
got that great.
modified it is a D&D character, D&D creator. Yeah. That's what they do.
Exactly. So you can have geekdom in sports. And one of the things
Yeah.
that goes along with March Madness is the bracket system, getting your brackets and knowing who's the best, the versus battle. You'll see like brackets even in other geek forms, such as you watch BattleBots.
Yes.
They have brackets in BattleBots.
Do
And
they?
BattleBots is BattleBots is the isn't. Yes. If you're not watching BattleBots, what are you doing? Yeah, I know you like big robots.
I do.
I know you like them fighting kaijus, but
I
you
do.
just like
I
big
do. I
robots
know.
in
I like
general,
just
right?
big robots. I like big
Yeah.
robots.
So think of this. Think of BattleBots as like the precursor to before we start getting into Evangelion level
Mm-hmm.
robotage. If that's the
I'm
word,
down with that.
robotage. Yeah, man. We should actually like do like a little mini stream regarding something like that.
Yeah.
Yo, get
Well,
off the topic.
we have Leon for
Uh-huh.
Technubians, and Leon actually builds big robots.
See, there we go. Now we come a full circle. So you got your fantasy football that can kind of like deal with some D&D,
Mm-hmm.
and now we also got BattleBots that can satisfy your Robotech Evangelion ish,
Mm-hmm.
and to a certain kind of degree, maybe Attack on Titans because those are technically flesh mechs. But I know,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I know we're kind of getting off subject. Hello, nerds! Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news from geeks that look like me, geeks that look like you, and geeks like the Black Lion himself, Hannibal Lecter. Yo, my man, leader of the A team. Form, head, what is it? Form, arms, and legs. And Chuck forms the head. I jacked all that up, but
You did jack
you
it
get it.
all
You
up.
get what I'm talking about.
I get what you're talking about. You jacked it all up, though.
A little bit. Yo, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm spoiled, man. I'm getting all this extra
Yeah.
time with you.
Uh-huh.
Get to kick it. Yo, I like the hat though, fam.
Thank
It
you.
looks dope.
Thank you.
Give me a
Thank
little
you.
hat. Give me a little dip
No,
down.
got my hat.
Little dip
Yeah.
down.
Dip
Let me
down
see.
and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Doing
tip
it.
your head, boy. I want to see it. Let me see it. Yeah, there we
Baby
go.
dragon.
There we go. Yo, show it to the people. Yo, that is fly. I'm not even
Yeah.
kidding.
It's
That's
embroidered
super
in the
dope.
top. You see, they got the doves under it and everything.
Yeah, man. Look at you getting your John Woo on underneath the lid.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I don't wear no more hats. I'm a hat
Hey, listen.
enthusiast.
Hey, if you're new to the show, we cover the Geek News Beat. We share our opinions with you. As you can tell, we're a little off the cuff. We're not really under proper supervision. So I will be your host tonight, Sintel, and you've already met the amazing Chuck.
When Chuck forms the head.
Yes.
I find that
Activate
funny.
inner lights, dymotherms, connected intracells. Mega thrusters
so
are go.
You so silly.
Yo,
I can't.
speaking of go, daylight savings time just might get the deuces.
It should get the deuces.
I've been saying it for years. I feel like we're just holding on to it for what? I mean, we're not really an agrarian type of economy anymore.
We're the only ones that practice it, right? I think we're the only ones that practice it now.
Yeah, we're like the only ones. And there's like 48 states that practice it, and there's 2 that don't. The Arizona and Hawaii are the 2 that don't. Well, in case you haven't heard, the Senate is voting to make daylight savings time permanent. So the Senate approved legislation Tuesday that will make daylight savings time permanent starting next year. Now, the bill called the Sunshine Protection Act was passed by unanimous consent, meaning no senators opposed it. If enacted, Americans will no longer need to change their clocks twice a year.
Which is stupid.
I, for one, am happy. I'm happy about that.
Too. It's stupid that we change our clocks twice a year.
Well, I mean, it made sense back in the day because daylight savings time started in the U.S. in 1918 to create more daylight hours during warmer months, which allowed farmers to produce more crops and get it all, taken to market, which means just more money, and it's just better for the economy overall. But, we left an agrarian-based economy. Like, is that the word I'm looking for? Agrarian? I think that's the word. That's the terminology I'm looking for. We we left that a very, very long time ago. Now the agriculture still isn't very huge in the United States still, but your farm hands aren't the only sole people that are out there, picking these crops. Now we have machines doing it, and you don't necessarily need that long amount of time. Now stuff is like remote controlled now for the most part. Like some of these tractors are like drones out there chopping up corn and digging up potatoes.
First of all, we got to talk. Most of the farms are corporate farms, and people can't go out there and work those farms no more. You have big machines to do it. We got to stop pretending. We be pretending. Like, you know what? We're going to go out here and farm, and nobody's farmed in America. Truck driving is the number one job in America.
Well, I mean, we have to keep appearances. Like when you take a look at it always kills me when you look at groceries and they always show like the pictures of the old like red barns and stuff. Like we ain't used barns to hold food in over 60 years.
Not at all.
Like you said, it's all corporate structures now. But you want to believe that the food that you're eating is coming from a nice wholesome farm. Even for those of us that are vegetable lovers themselves, it's just as corporate as some of the other areas as well. So there's nowhere you're going to run away from it. The machine runs it all. Hey, so now that it's permanent, what are you going to do with that extra time? These longer days, especially during winter. I'm so tired of it being dark at 4 p.m.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, in Japan, they don't have daylight savings time, and in the dead of winter, it gets dark at 4 p.m. It just gets dark. Boom. It's dark around 4 or 5.
So which one do you want? Do you want the longer day daylight savings version, or do you want the shorter day one? Which one are you looking for? Like now, for you, it's like 7:47.
Yeah,
whereas it would typically be.
I would say, just to say the longer day, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't even matter. I don't even think about days or nights anymore. I don't clock time. I'm beyond clock time. So I'm gonna start saying. People are like, you keep up with time? No, I don't keep up with time.
It's
time
beyond
keeps up with me. Nah, but I think I'll probably want longer days. But I be in these streets at night. So
listen to this. You hear this? I hear this madness, right?
Night, getting it in.
Somebody come get this dude because he tripping. Hey, speaking of tripping, there are some people on the internet that are a little upset about Marvel's latest release regarding the superhero characters and all that good stuff. Miss Marvel's first trailer Marvel's first teaser trailer for Ms. Marvel came out today and is taking a cosmic take on Kamala Khan's character. So people might be a little, let's just say remiss to say that they really enjoyed the trailer because they feel that Marvel is taking liberties with the character of Kamala Khan when she used to be like the stretchy kind of person who can like make her body a lot larger and then use that as her superpower. Now in the trailer, she seems to have like cosmic type abilities where she can build like cosmic constructs. Like,
but she can also stretch her arm out. In the trailer, she stretched the arm across the room. Her arm is
but it wasn't like her arm. It was more of like a construct arm.
Yeah, it was like
yeah. So how are you feeling about them taking away her Mr. Fantastic ability and turning her into Green Lantern? That's what a lot of people are kind of saying. So is that going to take away from anything, or people just need to get over it?
No, I don't think it takes away from anything for me. To those people, it may take something away. But for me, I'm like, okay, whatever.
So from series creator Bisha K. Ali, Miss Marvel tells a story of how Kamala Khan, a diehard Carol Danvers fan, Stan first discovers her own burgeoning superpowers and starts putting them to good use as a supervillainry begins to take root in Jersey City, similar to her comics counterpart. The MCU's Kamala doesn't hide the fact that she's something of a fan fiction writing nerd, something that few of her peers really understand other than her friend Bruno. But unlike the comics Kamala, who develops the power to embiggen parts of her body through the inhuman pterogenesis process, Miss Marvel's Kamala's abilities are apparently more cosmic in nature and involve her making energy constructs. You know what I think this may be? I think that as we get closer to the possibility of having a Fantastic Four, you kind of don't want to like blow the wad of Mr. Fantastic's ability of being stretchy and all of that with this rendition. So, you know, you got to like change it and make it something different, because you definitely can't rechange what Mr. Fantastic is, right? He's a way bigger name than Kamala Khan's character is. So you don't want to have two of the same thing, right? So it kind of makes sense to kind of change up some of the powers. I think, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. She's not really that like, she's not like, you know, a tent pole superhero in Marvel's stable. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, she's more of a side character-ish that's having some light kind of being put on her, kind of like how they're doing like with Moon Knight. He's not like a real tent pole type of character. So does it really matter if we change up some of the superhero things that she could do? Nah. No. People just want to be mad. Did you see it?
People just want to be mad. I haven't seen it. I saw her trailer. I saw the trailer. Yes.
I thought it looked interesting.
It does look interesting.
I mean, you look like you're not 100% sold.
It looks like I'm not sold on anything that looks like a DC CW type of show. I mean, Hawkeye kind of fell into that somewhat too, and I'm like,
go get with that BS.
Do I want to see Stargirl, known as Miss Marvel? I mean, do I want to see that? I'm not sure. I mean, are they going to do something interesting? I hope so. It's going to have Marvel cinema. It doesn't even look like Marvel cinema production value. Like I look at this visual effects, and they should be on the same level as Shang-Chi.
But this is a series though, right?
Yeah, but even the previous series, they had stuff look like Shang-Chi.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier looked very cinematic. This looks like it's straight out of CW.
It had some cinematic episodes. It did have some cinematic episodes.
In this trailer, everything in this trailer says CW to me. It screamed Disney after school special.
I thought that's what you wanted, man. And when I get on CW, you be looking at me funny. And now you talking about it looks like CW.
I know, because I expect that out of CW stuff. I expect that. Marvel has set a pedigree of high quality, cinematic quality TV shows. And for them to say, you know what, we're going to make a CW show, is like, come on, guys. Even the Marvel stuff that was in Hulu, even the Marvel stuff that was from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Agent Carter was higher quality than what they're presenting now on this Miss Marvel show.
So we think. Because it could surprise you.
So we think.
It could surprise you.
I thought the trailer was weak. I'm excited about the show, Kamala Khan. About the show, but I thought the trailer was weak.
But you said something that kind of reinforces what I'm thinking, and that is Marvel has yet to let me down on picture quality, even for their TV stuff.
Absolutely,
I'll give you. They have yet to let me down, and that's why I'm not too disappointed, because it's one of those. Once I see it, then I'll know. But then again,
they're not Star Wars.
we did. But then again, we did see some picture quality drop regarding Boba Fett. So,
I mean,
so it is possible. It is possible to kind of to miss a little bit.
The Mandalorian wasn't the greatest picture quality, but we were forgiving because we saw a Mandalorian on the screen in Beskar armor the whole entire time. And we had that cute little gremlin next to him named Grogu. So we were all sold on that. And because all it was brown desert and this guy in shiny armor with this little green creature.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of that again with Obi-Wan, but we're not gonna get on that because I don't want to get depressed. Hey, so
I hope they do Kamala right and give her really good visual effects. They'd like, oh, we got a color girl in this. Let's just take our time.
I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before.
Yeah. I at least want HBO quality. I at least want Lovecraft Country quality.
Yeah, I think we can get at least that. I think we
At
can get
least that. At least that. You
Yeah.
know, Lovecraft Country is not the most beautiful thing, but it was a period piece. It felt like Indiana Jones type of period piece. It felt right. You know.
Yeah. I mean, and the quality, cinematic quality of that was
Mm-hmm.
befitting of of something that you would see as a TV series.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't disappoint. I'll say that it didn't disappoint at all. Speaking of high cinematic quality, in order that may make or break the film, the new Halo trailer has offered a better look at Paramount Plus's new series. They look like they spent a little bit of money. I mean, I'm still a little sketch on Master Chief in general, but I will still be checking out the Halo series. I think it comes out like on the 25th. I think that's when it is. Hey, no, it's the 24th. It comes out on the 24th. So we got like a couple more weeks. Is this going to be like must-see TV? Was this enough to move you anymore?
Yeah, I think so. You think it's must see TV? Don't think it's must see TV?
I mean, it's Halo. It's the first Halo series. It
Yeah,
has to be.
I think I'm
It
in
has
on
to be.
this. I think I'm all in on this. I ha- you
Yeah.
know, I have to wait for all it to drop though. So I'm not gonna go watch the
Yeah.
premiere. I should go watch the premiere episode because that's one episode and I can like. But I think it's worth to say in 8 weeks we'll talk about it on binge worthy,
Yeah.
and it'd be interesting to have because Halo's an interesting story anyway to be about a superficial shooter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
a multiplayer shooter that's known for. But this
Mm-hmm.
story is interesting that they're going back into Master Chief's time to figure something
Yeah,
out.
and apparently for like diehard Halo fans, there is a lot to the lore from what I'm being told. So they have a lot of stuff that they can go on regarding giving us like some good giving us some good content. So yeah, I'm excited about it. I don't think it's gonna disappoint too much. I'm so sorry I have neglected the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, let's go ahead and give a shout out to everybody in the chat. And if you are happy to be watching us on Restream, one of the great things about this particular show is catching us live because then you can ask us questions live, just like we're doing here. Big shout outs to the Funk. Let me see. Backing up. He said, I thought you were referencing the Ides of March. Beware and stay out of the Senate and all that. And huge shout out to the Funk as well, because he said my DVR is overflowing with BattleBot episodes at 2 hours each. It's a real intimidating backlog. Man, what are you doing? Hop on that. BattleBots does not disappoint. The season is really good. He also said, I think this Lizzie McGuire aesthetic is exactly what they want to do to give it its own identity. That it does have a bit of that feel. Self-narration, cool little notepad and all that other stuff. And of course, she has to eventually merge in with the other Miss Marvels for the movie, but I have no problem with her having her own vibe and her own standalone thing. So thank you so much, Funk, for bopping in and saying what's up to us. My dog, man, I'll let you the phone. Appreciate everything. And also in the chat, how are you all feeling about the Halo series that's coming out? Is it must see TV? If the trailer, if the pilot is slow, are you gonna automatically, jump ship and say it's a wash, or are you gonna at least give it like 3 episodes?
I think this is gonna be one of those things you have to go through like 4 or 5 episodes. I think people have to go through 4 or 5 episodes. I think this thing is not gonna get started to like 4 episodes in. I think it's gonna be a slow because it's down to earth sci-fi, and a lot of people that they're trying to grab are not familiar with the Halo series. Okay, it's on Paramount Plus, so I think they're going to bring in families, people like my father, your father that don't play Halo. They're going to bring them in, and I think they want to set this up as a military show. And most military shows are slow initially.
That's interesting. You know why that's interesting? Go ahead.
It could be like Fire PD, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, Chicago FD. It's one of those shows where it's going to be have exciting explosions at the end, but the show overall is kind of slow. Probably like a Law and Order. But this is
I think it's an interesting point that you're making, because I remember when they redid Battlestar Galactica, right? And a lot of people held on to the old 80s version, the 80s fantasy tale, sci-fi of Battlestar Galactica, and it moved in a certain kind of way, right? But then when they redid it, when sci-fi redid it, not only was it surprising, and it was a more adult themed and a far more serious take on the old original, it brought in a whole new fan base that I don't think sci-fi was even ready for. And it was kind of like the fan base that you were talking about. And that is people that aren't necessarily like the diehard sci-fi fans. It's one of the reasons why Battlestar is so beloved and is still beloved, if we can just forget about the last 2 seasons. It took a chance in turning something that you would think is for a very small niche group and making it very accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
Yo, the Funk said, the only Halo thing I was into was Reach. So especially with it being on a service I don't already subscribe to, I'm not following along. At least you got a chance to play Reach. Reach was a really good one. It's probably one of the best storylines and probably one of the funner ones outside of Halo 1 and 2 in the series. I'm not a super diehard Halo fan, but I'm definitely familiar enough with it. Speaking of familiar, so Harley Quinn has taken some interesting turns since her induction as a main character in the late 90s. I think it's when she kind of like stepped onto the scene.
Kind of stepped into her own.
Yeah, so she's been kind of like reinvented a few different ways, and the animated version to me is probably the creme de la creme of her reintroduction. Well, Harley Quinn's world is getting another induction with another bad guy named Kite Man. So Harley Quinn's Kite Man will star in a Cheers-ish for supervillains.
Is that the cartoon? Is that the cartoon version?
I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's going to be.
So excited.
Yeah. So Harley Quinn's Kite Man's characters get his very own spinoff show. This is reported by Screen Rant. Yes. Kite Man was a pretty funny character too in the animated series.
That means we get more Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
We get Kite Man, and we'll hopefully get more Harley Quinn, and hopefully get the whole entire gang.
Yeah. See, and that's just it. So we say the spinoff is a Cheers style comedy tentatively titled Noonans, the bar that DC Universe's henchmen hang out when they're not busy working for big name villains, which Harley and her crew occasionally visit to hire muscle or kick back a few cold ones. So apparently he's trying to run the bar by himself. It doesn't really work that well. So we have Harley and Ivy appear in the first episode, but after that we have different goons and villains appearing every episode, like Luthor and Bane. It'll be kind of like Cheers for super villains. There was a Kite Man reference in Peacemaker too, as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see
live action
version of Peacemaker. Bob's in there.
Yeah, Kite Man is hilarious because man, that show I never heard of Kite Man until I actually saw that show, and they made him pleasantly charming, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, he was tons of fun.
Yeah. That show was great.
It's one of DC's best animated series. Honestly,
I think so.
It's got to be one of their top 3.
Yeah, it's amazing.
If you haven't seen it, you should be doing that. What are you doing?
People watching, it's so good. I think they should make Kaylee Kuko be Harley Quinn. They should let her be Harley Quinn live action because she crushed it as animated Harley Quinn.
She does. Yeah, she did.
Crushed it. I can see her being a live action Harley Quinn.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I know I'll definitely be checking it out. The last series was just killer. I know we're getting a little close on time, but I want to end it on a good note. And that is a new video game company aims to develop therapeutic games. So Devolver Digital founder Mike Wilson is partnering with medical device expert Ryan Douglas to launch Deep Well Digital Therapeutics, a video game company that will both develop games that can treat health conditions. So the company will also help outside companies identify existing games that have therapeutic value. So the FDA approved the first prescription video game cleared to treat kids with ADHD in 2020. I remember that making a bit of headlines. Some people were like, isn't that counterproductive? And I was like, no, this is like, wrangling in all of that dopamine and putting it in a positive place. So the agency cleared a handful of other digital therapeutics in the past few years, and the industry just got a boost during COVID-19 pandemic when the FDA let companies market digital health products without going through the normal review process. Just off of that little bit, how are you feeling about gaming for therapy?
I'm okay with it. I mean, I worked on a VR app it's a game type of app that's for meditation. So I'm for
Mm-hmm.
any games can be used for everything. So this
Mm-hmm.
one of the fastest ways that people learn, teach is activity to do and observation at the same time with speech and instruction. So I'm
Right.
pro that. Games are just another form of apprenticeship. So this is anything that can help people.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you on the same boat. Is that
Like
video games have a really bad stigma at times,
yeah.
and it's good to see like the narrative change in a different way.
Because it's everything new technology, right? They like when the
Mm-hmm.
radio was introduced, they said kids, people sitting in front of the radio, listening to the radio was going to ruin humans. All humans are going to become lazy and not learn anything. They're not going to be able to read anymore. Book industry
Mm-hmm.
was going to die. It's over 100 years later, and the
Yeah.
books are still here. Radio's still here.
Yeah.
They said listen to radio is gonna make people fornicate and, and do profane things listening to the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
wild.
that's
It's
that's
wild.
it's very true. People fear new things,
New
and they
things.
just don't
It's
want to
new
accept the
things.
fact that we could be upgrading our society as a whole. Big shout out to the chat again. Yo, Dragonborn. Yo, thank you for
Yeah,
bopping
Dragon
in.
Yeah.
Dragonborn VS said, and Harley Quinn was born from the animated series from the 90s. Yes. That is very true. Let us know in the chat how you feeling about therapeutic video games. Chuck, you had mentioned something to the fact regarding a meditation being used in video games. I like that. I think that's kind of dope, especially when you consider like the headsets are starting to become a little bit more of the norm. Putting yourself and finding your center.
Matter of fact, the game Journey is a therapeutic game in itself. It's a relaxed form of meditation and relaxing. That game company makes those types of games where they started out with a game called Flow, where you're an amoeba and you grow. Then they came with Flower. Then they came with Flower, where you're pollinating a whole entire field as the wind blowing on flowers. And then they made Journey, and all these are meditative games. They're Zen games, and the whole thing was keep you in a state of flow. And they do a really good job with that.
Oh, I like that. I'm saying let's change that mantra to when some kind of tragedy comes out, then I'm blaming on video games. So when somebody does something good, they could be like, you know what? I was able to absolutely find the better version of myself because I put on the new VR headset game, this, that, and the third, and let's change the narrative. It's like 9:06, man.
Yeah.
We should be ready to go ahead and tap out. We good?
Okay. Yeah, we good.
You good? You want to keep it moving?
No, we're bringing the cast. We got two cast members. We can bring them in.
All right, everybody. So that's going to go ahead and conclude the new segment of our show today. Thank you for tuning in. GeekBeast is now in podcast form as well. So if you missed our live streams, and you happen to be watching this on recast, do yourself a favor and come check us live because you can reach us directly. And if you can't reach us directly, you are on Restream and you're not in front of your computer, you can always hit up applications such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, because we pop up everywhere. Like we got these corners and blocks locked down, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn.
So please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're already on the page. Hit the subscription button now. What are you doing? You should have already been done that. And of course, give this a thumbs up. If you're watching this someplace else, you can catch us on YouTube at /the Geekish Network, or if you're already on Facebook or any of the other platforms, /the Geekish Network on Facebook as well. The Twitch feed is still up and running. We have big plans for that as well. Game streams are going to be there, charity streams, cooking streams, and a whole bunch of other cool little projects are lined up.
Hey, if you have to do some gaming.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
absolutely, man. I'm always down for that.
Sunday. Let's do
some Sunday. Man.
Yeah.
So you can check us right there on Twitch. Me and Chuck are going to get down and hopefully maybe even have some other people so you can watch me wax that ass. Hey, if you got Amazon Prime, you can link your accounts up to us using Prime Gaming. It costs you nothing, but it helps us out tremendously. Big shout outs to Chuck for managing and juggling all of this. You don't understand all the things he's doing right now. He's doing like 9 different things at the exact same time. Huge shout out to the Funk for curating all of this content because we wouldn't be able to do it without you, man. You have no idea how grateful we are to you.
Invaluable.
Hey, yeah, man, absolutely invaluable. Hey, so MVP. We got the lovely. Yeah, for real. He is. I'm like, you the real MVP.
He's definitely our Steph Curry. He's definitely our Steph Curry.
He is, man. My man's like the foundation. Hey, speaking of some absolutely incredible members of the Geekish Network. You all are in for an amazing treat because the Origins Illustrated ladies are bopping in. Hey, these ladies are absolutely brilliant when it comes to stimulating conversation about comic book lore, legend, geek material news, all of that. Y'all, we got Catherine over here, and I think we're gonna have Court bopping in with us as well. Thank you so much. Hey, ladies, how you all doing?
Doing great.
Good. It's so good to see y'all. Y'all, I'm loving the red. I love that power red going down. Speaking of power red, I know this isn't necessarily comics per se, but it's still in our wheelhouse of geekdom in general. Have you all seen Turning Red? And what you think?
I have not watched it yet.
Don't talk about it.
All right. We won't jump into it. No. I got one more that's a little bit more in y'all's wheelhouse because I don't want to have any spoilers because I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't want no spoilers.
Same.
So Kamala Khan's character as Miss Marvel, she has a trailer that just recently dropped. I'm not sure if you all are going to be talking about it this evening. It's just me shooting off the hip right now. If you don't want to spoil too much and say for the show, it's all good. But if you have any thoughts, please, how are you feeling about it?
I was hoping that we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I planned to talk about. No. I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, no. I definitely want to like pop in and kind of drop just a little bit of good joy because I thought it was really lovely. You know, I was really excited about it. I think it's going to be a really fun show. It gave me all the vibes that I was hoping to see from other younger superhero shows, like in the DC world we have Stargirl and we have Naomi, but I feel like this one seems like it's gonna bring a little bit more weight along with the levity. So I'm hoping really good things for her. Like it gave me Never Have I Ever vibes. Like I really like that series on Netflix.
I do like that series.
Yeah, so that's my. Go ahead, Catherine.
So never, because it definitely gave me like Netflix teen show vibes, but is the Never Have I Ever the because there's like two actors that rotate a lot on Netflix and I can't remember what they've been in.
Never Have I Ever is about the Indian American family. It's the young girl in high school who's in love with Paxton, what's his name? I can't think of his last. Paxton Yoshida, that's what it is. And it's just like her after the death of her father and her trying to find her way as an Indian American young teenager. And it's a really fun outing. And this one, Ms. Marvel, I didn't read the comic, so based on that teaser trailer, the vibes I got were fun. You know?
I guess the show I'm thinking of is To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Yeah, I like that show too.
Yeah, that's like the first thought that goes to my mind, which could be interesting. Like I did never read Miss Marvel, so she's it's a blank canvas for me. When I was reading comments and like I saw people were like upset about power stuffs, but I'll watch it. I'm gonna watch anything. So
I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah,
I feel you.
Same.
She can pull a rabbit out of the hat for all I care. I'm gonna be there. All right, let me ask just one more question, a little bit off the cuff, and then will absolutely let you all just kill it on the scene. So me and Court had a little off conversation regarding Ava DuVernay and some of her projects. One Naomi is a project that she worked on that's had some mixed reactions, and she has a new one coming out based off of a comic that I absolutely adored called DMZ that will be out, I think, in like another 3 more weeks regarding the United States being in a civil war, and the story's a little bit different. This one deals with a mother trying to find her son in the demilitarized zone. Are you familiar with the projects? Are you happy? Is this kind of like a hopeful return of Ava DuVernay to, we're rooting for and we want these projects to work? How are we feeling about this?
Was that the HBO Max DC was there zombies in it?
No, this one isn't zombies, but it is a bit post-apocalyptic in the terms of war-torn.
Was
And,
Rosario Dawson in DMZ?
Rosario Dawson is the lead.
Okay.
Right.
It is on HBO Max though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I think the comic is a DC comic. I think it's DC.
It's
Is
DC.
it DC or is it like their, like their Vertigo or something like, or Dark Horse or?
I think it's DC. I'm about 80% sure it's
Okay.
DC.
Yeah, it's DC.
I'm not familiar with DMZ
Okay.
at all, so I am totally open to see it. I like Rosario Dawson. I'm a fan of her work. I think I enjoy her as Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian / Boba Fett appearance / her own series, which is coming and I'm looking forward to. But here's the thing about Naomi. I did read the comics and I'm a huge fan of that character because it's so rare to get a young Black female lead, and we got two. I mean, we had like what was it, Devil Dinosaur, we had Devil Dinosaur, which is like a young girl, elementary school. And we have Riri Williams in the upcoming Ironheart to look forward to. So I was really, it's a time, we're in a time that is great for young Black females to see themselves represented. So I'm like you, I want to support Ava and I want to support her projects. I did feel like this wasn't true to the source material in a way. I felt like there was a concern to focus on the trend factor and what is trending that teenagers are seeming to go through, as opposed to what was happening for the character in that story, and then tell it truthfully from the narrative of this young Black girl. It fell short for me.
Okay.
Naomi did.
Okay.
Catherine, have you jumped in on either of those projects, or even what was the other one? I'd say because Ava had another DC project that got canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah,
oh
the
my
Gods.
gosh.
Yeah, New Gods.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that too, but like, I mean, I don't know, with you saying that Naomi has like a drift in the source material, that I'm like curious about, like if she did New Gods, would it be like a weird version of it? I don't know, but I do, I don't know.
I'm being nice and I'm pulling punches because it's April. And I know the audience is like, Court is being very, very political.
Treat it like you
right
treated
now.
me and Randy on Binge-worthy, and come off the set and be honest.
Yeah. It's better to be honest than to throw like fluff.
Yeah.
Can I do a hot take?
Please.
I've only liked one of Ava's properties. I've only liked one.
13?
Selma?
13th? Yeah, 13th is amazing.
13th,
Yeah.
Like,
wait, was that the
You don't like
Netflix
Selma?
documentary?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
documentary. She
That's the only one I
kills
ever
it.
liked.
It's
I have not liked anything she's ever done.
All right, well, I guess
that
it was.
was her wheelhouse. That's where she came from. Was
Yeah.
documentaries.
she's good at that.
It's
Like she
not
kills that.
everybody's lane.
But I will say this though. I'm happy that she's still getting opportunities, because a lot of times when you have creators of color, you get one shot. You only get the one. And Ava has managed to, continue to take swings.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean they're stunningly beautiful. All the projects that she produces are, I mean they're crafted, but I feel like there's something sometimes a little bit missing. I don't know.
I mean, she's gonna constantly get shots because she's good at production. She's a good producer. She's a really strong producer. So they're gonna give her shots. She's on the business side of things. But I hope she gives other people shots, not just her, because obviously
maybe she needs to take a bigger hand.
Take a producer role.
Yeah, maybe
be a producer
or a creative.
else come in.
or someone else to help. Like,
maybe, or if she is producing it, like, was she part of the creative team? Because maybe we need her voice more in the room as opposed to, you know what I mean?
Point.
You know? Because if you're
you can actually do more from the producing chair.
Right. So maybe we need more Ava in it, and the team needs to.
Because she's a strong producer.
Because
give
she
her
is a
that.
strong producer.
But as director, I'm like, she's okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, Wrinkle in Time wasn't my
No.
favorite.
It wasn't. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I know a lot of folks
you don't have to
really
hate
didn't like it.
something.
I didn't hate it.
You don't have to hate something. No, it's bad.
I just know Big
I don't think it's
Oprah. There's
bad.
giant Oprah in it, and that's like.
It, like I said, it was visually beautiful to look at.
Yes.
And I love the lead young actress. That was another young actress of color who we're gonna see her again in some upcoming projects. I know that she just booked the lead, and I can't think of what it is. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like, I didn't hate Selma, but I wouldn't say Selma. I wouldn't go say, "Oh, Selma's on TV. I'm excited about watching Selma."
Oh no, it's not one of those you rewatch.
None of the stuff she makes is rewatchable.
I wouldn't go that far.
I feel like
Selma is hard.
hey,
Selma is
also-
a hard subject matter. You know, it's civil rights, and we want to
I watched
support
Malcolm
and
X a million times.
Oh yeah.
That's me with Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love countries. Can we please bring that back?
Yeah.
Can we find a way to get along? I know Misha Green's the set was not happy because they weren't happy because nobody came out to defend.
Yep.
Nobody came out to say
Unfortunately.
save the show. Not one actor, not one creative. It was crickets. So people were unhappy.
They were like, "Thank God this is over with."
They were. I think they all were.
That makes it sad. Like, cause
It
that's
makes
such
me
a
so sad.
it's such a good show. It dove into
So
You know what makes
good.
it bad? You know
It
what makes
was
it really bad?
so
Maybe she
good.
had
So,
to be
so
that person to get that creative look. Like, it
That's a
probably been
very
her
good
show.
point.
Yeah, like she came
That's a
in
very
and
good
like,
point.
Nah, I had to do it that way to get this, and they weren't used to that. They thought they were gonna walk over me. I'm this relatively young black director in this talent that's
She wasn't
really
having it.
good, and I wasn't having them that shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, Bill
Where was
Belichick,
the
who's
team?
arguably one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest coaches in the NFL, and most people can't stand him.
Nope, his
His
own
own
players
teammates.
hate him.
Yeah, but he makes it happen, and he brings home the hardware. So sometimes, you need somebody to crack the whip in order to get quality, because it was a quality show, regardless of whatever the
behind the
politics
scenes
were.
Yeah,
The end product was fabulous.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
I wonder if people like who are just they're not the nicest people, if they need like a good cop bad cop scenario where they're like, all right, we're pushing this direction, but we're gonna try to make people happy so they stay on board with the projects.
yeah.
They need a Luther
Stanley
translator. They need a
Stanley
Luther
Kubrick.
translator on every set.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? So you hire this person. So people don't like me. So you're gonna be my translator. I'm gonna tell you what I want to say, and then you say it better.
Some people are like that.
I'm gonna get me a Luther translator.
Well, you're not going to need a translator in order to understand how amazing these two ladies are. Please stay tuned for Origins Illustrated, because they will be going over exactly what will we be going over, ladies.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many times have y'all seen it? Has it been more than once?
I've seen it twice.
Okay. You've seen it twice? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it a fourth time though. I don't know when though.
Charles, you and I should go. We should go to see the Batman.
Yes. I'm available Sunday.
See it on the loudest.
I am not. I will be running a marathon on
That's
Sunday.
right. You're running this marathon. That's right. That's right.
So unless you're gonna come pick me up, I don't know if I can walk.
Yeah. I'm going to a concert Saturday.
Bring some
so I
icy
gotta
hot,
get
some
ready
Dr. Scholl's and some canned oxygen.
Yeah.
You'll be straight. Yeah, she cover all the bases.
My Saturday is a concert. I'm excited about it.
I'm kind of surprised a lot of like 3-hour-long movies in the United States don't have intermissions. Like I've only been to one movie that had an intermission, and that was The Hateful Eight, the 16mm projector.
That's
or whatever.
right. Yeah, Quentin did the same thing when he did Grindhouse, because it was a double feature. Back when he did, oh my God, what is it? Something of Terror, World of Terror, and I forgot the other one with Kurt Russell driving the car. You know what I'm talking about? They had the intermission. But that's what I love about like Bollywood films. Like Bollywood films have that good solid intermission, because they know. Yeah, they like, you need to go pee and get some popcorn.
Yeah.
Drink some water.
Yep.
All right, well, listen, this is going to be our little intermission. Please stay tuned. I say probably another 5 to 10 minutes, and you will get an amazing dose of geekdom, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all.
Bye. Good night.